Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 6. I think it's called Just In Case. If it wasn't, it should have been. If you're new here, this is where we discuss the most recent episode of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. A first impression review is going to take up the first 10 minutes or so of this live stream, and then we're going to go into fan feedback from you guys in the comments section. So if you want to stay for that, I'm very pissed as well. We're going to get into that as well. If you want to stay for that, hang out for that. If you want to bounce after the review, I will let you know when the review portion is done. Let's dive right into this because there's one big thing I want to discuss. As always, there's always updates with the screen capture software and on YouTube and stuff. So if the sound is off or too low or too high, give me a shout out down below and I'll take a look at that and make some adjustments. All right, so first off, we have subtitles? How is that possible? You used to have to put them in there, but I notice I have subtitles. Right? I'm going to have to look into that. Is that a new update on YouTube? All right, so the Vultures. In the very beginning, the one Vulture said that to Madison, and we've heard this before, but it was in the preview of a previous episode, and he says, hey, you got two choices. You could either give us all your shit and live, or don't give us anything and die, and we'll pick your bones clean, something like that, all right? And it clicked with me. I don't know why it didn't click with me the first time, but I was thinking, if they give you all the resources, they're going to starve to death immediately after, so what do you mean they'll live? I mean, there has to be more to that deal, right? And it didn't fully click until after when the reveal happened with Naomi. Because think about it, there has to be more to that deal. If Madison said, okay, you know what, we'll give you everything that we got, what next? Because you will die. You see what I'm saying? See how that deal is asinine? It's like, oh, you want me to give you all my food and you said I'll live? What? That's the dumbest deal ever. Unless he means, join the group, assimilate, and we will now be the Vultures all together instead of us making it hard on you, scavenge the area. Instead of competing for the resources, they'll join and share resources. You see what I'm saying? So that clicked in another weird way for me. And I kind of really want to see where that goes, because if they don't explain that, then I kind of feel like, that's a silly thing to ask for. But I think they will, because what the hell is Naomi doing there? all right, so on the map, I noticed it said Group G, and there was other things written, but it went by so quick, I couldn't even read everything that was. I'm going to pause it and see what the map said, but it looks like they do separate, and I believe it said they relocate every 10 days or something like that, and they keep these maps so they know where to meet up. And I'm curious if there's any other information on there, and if this is a bigger villain that's going to be around only for the next 2 episodes, or what I mean, a bigger villain that's going to be around for the remainder of this season. Another thing is scavenging for food and supplies. Now we see this, I think a little, we don't see this enough, I feel. Now I don't think we should always be following our characters in The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead scavenging and stuff, but it would be nice if a part of the storyline, no matter what part you're on, our characters often scavenge in a way that makes the world seem a little more realistic. Because what I mean by that is we have, and maybe they do, it's just not as noticeable, but in the beginning of The Walking Dead, for example, with the prison, we see them scavenging and they're starving. Because that is an important moment in that story-wise, because of how hungry they are. They've been on the road. It's explaining that. And then when they go to Morgan for the guns back in Season 3, it's because of the governor beef. You see what I mean? So it's specifically about that. Same thing with Negan and scavenging, the pay respects. It's implemented in the story there, but now that I think about it, we rarely see them doing, let's say, when they're at a certain area, they just take a moment, whatever the storyline's doing, they take a moment and they raid whatever area they're at. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter on the main show now, because we're going into the new beginning. They're going to, it's going to be a totally different world. But in Fear the Walking Dead, I do want to see more of that. If they are hunting down, ass face, ass muncher over here. They take a moment and you see them take 2 or 3 items that would be scavengeable. Maybe they have done that in the past, but I just didn't really notice it. But I think that helps with the realism. Let me shut up about scavenging because it's not really important. Naomi leaving, I wrote down that's some tiresome shit. I'm getting a little tired of this Naomi leaving stuff. I do like what they did with her story overall, and I did feel like Victor was a bit of a hypocrite. I'm glad they cleared that up in this episode because he was giving her some shit, and she's exactly what he is. You know what I'm saying? So they are a lot more similar than Victor led her to believe. But Naomi's story was deep, and I really enjoyed that. I think that was a really emotional part. If you cried at all in this episode, you probably got a little choked up, especially if you're a parent hearing her talk about what happened with her daughter. And I'm glad they clarified that because I think we asked earlier if there is a chance her daughter may still be alive. We also have... Let's see, the stuff with her daughter, Rose. I don't think there's anything we can really pull from that. That's backstory propping this character up. And I think that there's great backstory that they covered with her. But at the end, I did get a little frustrated with Morgan, again with his shit about giving them the warning. And now, instead of them leaving, you saw the disappointed look on Morgan's face. Instead of them leaving, they came prepared, extra prepared. So now, instead of the good guys or our good guys just slaughtering all the perceived bad guys, now it's going to be a showdown where more people might even live, more people might even die, more people might even live. Oh my God. So Morgan did frustrate me a little bit with that little stunt. However, the big reveal, the big oh shit, we all knew Naomi wasn't dead. I mean, if you don't see a body, she ain't dead. So she hops out with her new haircut, looking badass, I have to say. At first, I thought it was Madison. I'll be honest with you. I thought they were going to do some twisted shit where Madison met up with them and she adopted that way of life and they got along. And it ends up it being very different. Like, it wasn't there. It doesn't matter what I thought, but that's what I thought, and it's Naomi. I like that a lot better. But something else had to have happened, I feel, for Alicia to be so pissed. You know what I mean? There had to have been something else when the stadium was going down and all that shit. But I do like the just in case, how it circles back around with Madison wanting to be prepared because of what she saw at the FEMA shelter. And the one girl, Ellen, I believe, Elaine or whatever, she was prepared. She had the vehicle and the getaway stuff and the bug out bag, survivalists call it, where you have all your shit ready so that way if you need to get out and go, you have food and survival stuff in the bag. And then she said to tell Alicia to do the same thing. And then we find out that it was Naomi who had the bug out gear, all the food and the car and a Land Rover, some shit like that. And then Alicia's so pissed. And this is where I got so pissed. She goes to shoot at Naomi. John is all like, no, my Laura. And he gets popped. And he got shot in an area where it looked like there's no way he's going to survive this. It looked like that it took out his lung. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I know it's Hollywood. They could do anything. He could be alive. Matter of fact, he could hop up, get his guns, and kill every single bad guy in the next episode. This is Hollywood after all. But I kind of feel like there's no way for John to survive this. That is a terrible spot to get shot at, you know? And I'm pissed, actually, really annoyed, because there was so much going on. So much going on. Good stuff in Fear the Walking Dead. I really felt like this season was a return to greatness. This season, it's not what Fear the Walking Dead should have been in the very beginning. No, not at all. But storytelling-wise, where they're at in the season, it's the best it has ever been, I feel, me personally. But that's because of not just the story, not even just the story. It's a simple damn story. But the characters, they're doing so much better with the characters. And we got this character, we have some intrigue with this Laura girl, the guns, cowboy badass in the zombie apocalypse, okay? And then, to kill that guy, especially so soon, we had Nick's death. We don't need a big shocking death coming up behind Nick's death. We just had a huge death. Nick was a huge one. You know what I mean? To have John, one of the newer characters coming up that he is already becoming a fan favorite. I feel like that was a terrible decision. Unless they have some amazing shit coming up, story-wise. Someone said bulletproof vest. I'm almost positive you saw the blood. I don't think it was a bulletproof vest. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if that is a good idea at all. To take out Jon this early after being introduced to him. We got an episode of just him and Naomi, which means if Jon is dead, that's either some filler-ass episode, which I did enjoy. You know, it wasn't amazing. It was really good. That's either some crazy, insane filler shit, or Naomi is the main center of attention and not Naomi and Jon. Before, I thought Naomi and Jon, they'd be in the rest of the season, maybe even next season, because they got that setup episode and yada, yada, yada. Now if Jon's gone, then it's Naomi. The focus is heavily on Naomi. I'm seeing he's not dead. A lot of people saying he's not dead. I would hope not. I don't want him to be dead at all. But it looked like it was a bad spot. Even if it wasn't his lung, I mean, damn, that's some shit, you know? I hope he lives, you know? I hope he lives. Man, my back is cramped up. So, that's my opinion. This episode had a bit of a slow start, I'll be honest. Good character building. I like the way it came around for the characters as far as adding some hope to the stadium storyline. I thought that was great. I did think it was a little quick for the bad guys to go, oh, all right, we're out of here, because Madison could have just lied. They didn't know everything that was in the truck. You saw some fertilizer and stuff, sure, but I don't know. So yeah, there was a hope in that moment where we thought it was all downhill from here because we're waiting for the stadium to just be done with. They did heavy character development with progression and development with Naomi. A little bit with Strand. I think cementing Strand's place as his transformation is complete, because Strand is doing a transformation. He didn't leave with the shit. He did, revert back to his old ways, but then he didn't actually leave, and now he's really hanging in there and putting his life on the line, which is something old Strand wouldn't have done. He did it for Naomi, a person who is also flawed in her own ways as well. Now, awesome with the character building. Again, it just felt a little slow getting there. We could have probably trimmed a good 10 minutes out of this episode and had more in here, but at the end of the day, that's just nitpicking. It's another good episode in a great season so far. Again, not outstanding, but definitely good. Definitely good. You guys leave your thoughts and opinions. If you're here just for the review portion is done. That's it for my review. I'm going to give this one absolutely a good episode. Slow start, though, and some slow moments overall. Love the character stuff they were doing. And I did like the reveal, because now I'm really intrigued, really interested about Naomi and her decision to go with the Vultures. I really want to know what that shit's about. I have a feeling it's not quite what we think it is, but that being said, good episode, and we're going to go into the fan feedback now. So if you have something to say, put Q&A first thing in your comment. This is just so if we get a lot of comments all at once, I can look for people who are asking me a question as opposed to people just interacting in the comments section. So let's get this super chat out of the way first. We got Spin 2020 with a $5 super chat support. Thank you very much. First super chat support of the night. I appreciate that. If Glenn can survive the dumpster, any character can survive damn near anything. Jon ain't dead. See, Glenn didn't get shot, though. That's my argument there. The dumpster, though, I get it. I get that. I still feel like the dumpster could have been fixed if they would have added a second fucking dumpster. You know what I mean? Because it was just the angle at which he fell. All right. What else we got here? Ronnie, what the F? Hey, Ronnie, the description for the next episode says Jon is fighting for his life. Do you think that basically confirms he'll survive? I hope it does. I hope the importance that they showed the importance that they shown on this character in the backstory episode is enough to hint that he's going to survive. I think that's silly to take a character out like that this early. We have, seriously, what's the point of Luciana being there? I don't know. I hope they do more with her. I really hope they do more with her. This would be an interesting character to blend in, because it's like a melting pot of sorts. We don't need Luciana to be, the cousin of Madison or a family member. She was with Nick. Nick is gone, but she's still a part of the group, and I hope they utilize her more, because right now she just feels like there's too loose of a connection, but I hope they bridge that a little more. And I think what would help is change her from Nick's girlfriend to Alicia's friend. I think that is a simple fix. You have her in mourning, Alicia's in mourning. Now the creative playground to bring these two characters together in a buddy sort of way, I think it's wide open. And I think it would be a great decision to go there. It would be like a Rick and Daryl type thing, Once you get the buddies going, you can play off the characters better. You can bridge a better connection, because characters having connections with each other's fans love that shit, especially two buddies like that, and you get two female chicks right there being buddies. I think that would be pretty cool. They could play off that well, I think. What else we got? Hey Ronnie, do you think it would be cool? It would be a cool idea to have a group that lives by using primitive technology like the Mayans and Aztecs. Yes, I'm up for primitive technology. Absolutely. Yeah, just no cutting off heads and throwing them down pyramids. Ronnie, what are your thoughts on the storyline in the comics, The Walking Dead? Well, we covered the comics every month, so there's no way I can answer that. You mean like the storyline currently? I like it. I'm a little, I'm on the fence waiting to see where it's going to go, so that way I'll know whether I really like it or not. Because everything hasn't been revealed yet, so there's still a lot of what's going to happen. Giovanni, why do they still do that before title card? I don't know. I think it's for I want to say dumb fans, but I'm afraid there's a MAPP member who's like, thank God for those title cards. I wouldn't have understood that. I think it's for fans who don't pay attention clearly, If you see Naomi and Alicia and Madison, it's a flashback. I mean, you don't need to be told that, I feel. So I don't know why they do that. Wait, we got another super chat come in. Elijah Jackson with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for the support. Just wanted to show my support. Love the channel. Quick question. What's your least favorite moment from the entirety of the Walking Dead series? Oh, my least favorite moment. Oh, man, how big is a moment? Is it just a couple seconds? Is it a chunk of storyline? My absolute least favorite moment? One of my least... I got a couple that popped to mind. I'm sure there's one that's just no way. But I'll tell you right now, the ones that, just to get this moving, the ones that pop to mind first are Rick having a hallucination of Lori and freaking out, making... oh my God, I forgot his name. Did I really? Tyrese and Sasha making them leave. That is a moment that I just felt like it was a writer not knowing what direction they wanted to go. They didn't know where they were going to be in 2 episodes. That was frantic storytelling, I feel. As far as another thing that popped in my head, what they did with Andrea and the governor, absolutely. They had a cool thing going, a setup with Michonne and Andrea, and I think they threw that away. And again, I feel like this is Hollywood that's been overtrained by conflict. And what I mean by that is they got and Michonne entertain stupid people, conflict. And then you have the conflict, the 3-way conflict. That's silly. It's a balanced system between conflict and reward, what happened with the stream? It looks like YouTube had a little hiccup. Are you guys getting any buffering or anything? It looks like YouTube's having a little hiccup here. Video output. I'm going to see what you guys have to say because YouTube keeps shutting off. I'm going right down to... Yeah, I dropped down to the... Guys, refresh it. I think YouTube is doing something. Yeah, some people are saying lag, some people are saying no lag on my end. I think it's a YouTube thing right now because my internet is solid at the moment. So, I'll check and make sure there isn't anything else connected to the internet. If it keeps going. Sometimes it is YouTube and it'll just go down for a few seconds. If it's not, I'll go and check, make sure my daughter didn't leave the... laptop on or something, because sometimes it'll be like on but the screen will be off. All right, so anyway, let's get right into this. If it does it again, I'll go and check it. Refresh it. Make sure you guys refresh it for anyone who still has lag. So yeah, to answer the second part of that, I don't know if you guys caught it. The other thing that pops to mind is the conflict, and Andrea and Michonne, they had a good thing set up, and I think they messed with it, trying to force conflict in there and not paying attention to storytelling is a balance between conflict and reward, not just conflict. They had a lot of opportunity for rewarding storytelling with the Andrea and Michonne friendship, and I think they ditched it. Was it ever explained how Nicole got hurt when she showed up at John's? No, not yet. And it's not Nicole, it's Naomi or Laura. Is John dead? I hope not. I hope not. I really hope not. Nice switch from drinking the 10W30 to something that looks safe to drink. Yeah, this is raspberry green tea. How do you become a mod? Just be here for a while, show some interest every now and then when we say we're taking more mods, and it works like that. James said, did anyone else get a random commercial when Naomi said she worked for FEMA? Then it cut back to the episode. What did she say that made Madison so upset? Wait, Naomi said she worked for FEMA. Then it cut back to... I didn't get a commercial. What did she say that made Madison so upset? I don't think she made Madison upset at all. You mean she talked about her backstory, about how her daughter died? Are you talking about that? Or are you talking about when she was going to leave? It was just... She knew where to get supplies from. Nothing major. Hey, Ronnie, have you seen the Netflix zombie movie Cargo yet? Yeah, I'm uploading my review tomorrow. If so, what are your thoughts? The review's coming tomorrow. In a nutshell, it was good. There's some down moments, but I think a lot of the impact is lost, though, when you watch the short before it. But we're definitely going to discuss that. I think if you're a zombie fan, good idea. Go on Netflix and watch Cargo, because we will be discussing it tomorrow. But I definitely highly recommend that. Hey, Ronnie, do you think the main group could have used manure for fertilizer? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, didn't they... Isn't that what fertilizer is? Didn't they grab, essentially, manure? I don't know. I'm not a farmer. But, yeah, they could have, if you could find manure, right? Can you see parallels between Morgan and Naomi? I know most people say Carol, but I see a lot of connections with Morgan's story. How so? How so would be my Morgan and Naomi. Not right away. Maybe if you mention some, I'll see what you mean. Hey, Ronnie, do you think it's pointless to make us think our main characters are going to die in flashbacks? Yes. Like, we know Naomi doesn't die there. Or maybe some fans forgot they said the stadium, but we know Naomi doesn't die there. So that scene, when the writer is writing that scene, it shouldn't be about, oh no, Strand couldn't hold it down and Naomi was going to fall. No, I mean, listen, and I will get nitpicky because it was a fine scene, but the writer, and I'm definitely talking out my ass here because I'm not a TV writer, I'm not a professional writer, and I'm gonna have the balls to stand here and say that was wrong and this is right. But I feel this way. We know she's not gonna die. It's a flawed way to write it, pretending that she might die. Instead, they need to write it based on the connection with the characters. Again, this is that conflict versus the balance between conflict and reward. That should be a reward moment, not a conflict moment. Not a, oh my God, she might fall, da da da. The rewarding moment would be the hoorah moment where you have Strand, a person who would not put his life on the line for other people, going to help Naomi out, and then Madison coming to back Strand up when he couldn't hold it. Have a slip and have Madison come up. And again, this is just a small tweak taken away from the cheap thrill of maybe her getting eaten alive, but instead focusing on the characters coming together. Because like I said, most fans knew she wasn't going to die because, we know she has problems at the stadium. Anyway, Ronnie, do you think that they will kill Morgan off in Fear? I hope not. And as of right now, I don't think they will, because that ends the crossover. You know what I mean? And the crossover, leaving it open, still leaves it open for them to cross over again. The ending is so confusing. Yeah. Confusing in a way like, wait a minute, how did they get there? But I see what you mean. Did you like Madison in this episode? This was the first time I ever liked her, but I still hate her. Yes, I'm liking her more and more. I think they're doing something a little better with her now than they were previously. Do you prefer Clear Morgan or All Life is Precious Morgan? I like not the Clear Morgan. He's too crazy, I like a combination of Clear and Precious. Like, if you gotta kill and there's absolutely no other way, get it done. But this Morgan right now seems like a man who is stuck on either extreme. Morgan is like a broken yin-yang. You know the yin-yang symbol where you have the white and then it goes to the tail, and the black and it goes to the tail. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Well, the yin-yang, it represents the extremes. And in each extreme, it's unbalanced. So you have a little bit of black and the white, a little bit of white and the black, and that creates harmony. That's the balance. And I believe in Buddhism, or one of the philosophies, if you can't survive going through either extreme love, you'll burn out. Extreme hate, you'll burn out. You need a little bit of both. Everything in life is about balance. It's about the harmony. Now, when it comes to Morgan, look at Morgan. He's the perfect representation of what that means. You have extreme Morgan who kills and clears and yada, 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 but he can't be around people. Then you got the extreme Morgan, All Life is Precious, such to extreme where he can't be around people. You know what I mean? It's bothering him, yada, yada, yada. He needs to find that perfect harmony, that perfect balance, where he can keep his All Life is Precious philosophy. But when it comes down to it, if people gotta die, people gotta die. And I would love for him to find that balance. Even if they're gonna kill him off, have him find that balance. I'm holding the butthole open for like a minute. Have him find that balance at least before they kill him off. Ronnie, do you think any character from Fear might join the main series in the future? I think it's absolutely possible, yeah. Not even just join them. I think it's possible for them to cross over and cameo in the other things, just a small cameo. Like, look at Rick. Rick Grimes was officially in Fear the Walking Dead Season 4. A little cameo. So was Carol, Jesus, and who else? I think that's it. We can do that with Alicia if Fear, for example, if Fear is near where our The Walking Dead storyline is taking place. You can have Morgan bringing Alicia over to get supplies, to meet Rick, and then she goes, okay, you seem like good people, maybe we can do business, trade in the future, and then Morgan and Alicia go back to their camp that takes 2 weeks to travel to. It's not so close where we don't see them all the time, but it's not so far away where you can't have characters cameo every now and then. Laura, Naomi is annoying to me. She is just in the story to be a twist. Like, what this bitch gonna do this time? Wait, Vito said, would you like it if Luciana died instead of Nick? I don't know. Again, I think story-wise, you get to the same place, right? The shock, I think, would have been dramatically decreased. Like, no offense, they haven't done much with Luciana. If she died, I would have been like, oh, that was tough, you know? That's shitty for Nick. But it wouldn't have been, like, when Nick died, I was like, what? No, they're not going there. What? And obviously it was so shocking because this was a character, this was an actor who wanted off. It wasn't like we saw it coming in the storyline. But again, the story goes to the same place. So for me, I don't think it would matter. I think it matters what character you like more. Like, I think we have more with Nick. So I think we have more of a connection with Nick, so I probably would have picked him just based on that. But if they build Luciana up, then it'll be a tie pretty much. Allison said, tonight we really saw how regret is a huge part of Naomi's character, and I think that has a lot to do with how Morgan has developed as well. Oh, I get what you mean. I didn't think of that, regret angle at all, to be honest. Yeah, at least she needs to use that grenade launcher. Do you think the writers should be drug tested if they killed John off? Absolutely. And would his death torpedo your faith in the show? You know what? I think that's a bit extreme, but you're close. I think his death would definitely leave me scratching my head and wondering if this wasn't just writers who came in, they knew they really had to shake it up to create a good story, and we got, they shot their load in the first 5 episodes, and then now they're, now it's desperate writing again, because I think that's such a bad idea. I don't know, they might go somewhere great with it later if they do kill him off, but I think that's such a bad idea. You just brought this character on, and he's an interesting character, you're doing something great with it, it's connecting with the storyline, and then you're gonna kill him off? Really? Colin says, man, the show is so great, keeps you guessing. Is Madison dead? Is Naomi dead? Killing Nick, now John might be dead. I like how they're keeping you guessing. The Vultures has been cleared. Q&A, are you frustrated with how they handled the Vultures to begin with? And rolling up with all these supplies and flaunting it doesn't make sense to me at all. Am I frustrated with how they handled them to begin with? I wouldn't say frustrated, no. I think it's good, but there's definitely room for it to be better. I agree with that. Absolutely. Remember when we all thought Strand was going to be the Lord and Master of the Walking Dead? Now he's just a Madison stooge. I don't remember ever thinking that, to be honest. I do remember Strand showing up, and this is something that we get a lot with the writing. They go all out, making the character memorable when we first meet them, and then later it's like you deflated a balloon. It's not so big and bubbly and bouncy as before, you know what I mean? That happened with Strand. When we first met him, man, he was this mystery man, suave. He was a leader. He got his shit done. He can read people. There was so much strength in his actions. Now look at Strand. Even when they started developing him, he started changing, That happens a lot with characters, I've noticed, though. They try so hard to make their introduction like a wow factor. And somewhere along the lines, they built them up way too big in the introduction, and they got to knock them down a peg, Yeah, it was like a season 4 prison sickness outbreak, but the group didn't have Rick, Daryl, and Glenn, etc. Morgan will be the last survivor. What else we got? Howling Wolf said, how did you feel about Al standing by while John and Morgan were held at gunpoint by the others? To be honest, this was the one part in the episode that I didn't get. I didn't understand at all. You were just with them. They're not bad guys, and you keep guns on them? I mean, wouldn't you automatically think, oh, they followed us here, or oh, they found their way here, oh, they figured out how to get here somehow? I would have just figured they followed them there. For the longest time, I was like, well, not the longest time, but for a whole minute, I'm thinking, guys, do you not recognize these people? What are you doing, So yeah, that moment, if I had to pick one thing that I think is bad writing, I think that is terrible writing. When they saw them there, they should have automatically thought, oh, you followed us here. And then when, they realized, wait a minute, you didn't follow us here. I don't like this. Something's not right. Then you could pick your guns back up. I would have loved that. That's fine. But you were just with them, I don't know. What else we got? When do you think we'll see Daniel again? I don't think we're going to see him till at least, definitely not this first half. They got too much going on with the Vultures. It would just feel out of place unless he's the true leader of the Vultures in some crazy twist, I think definitely next half or next season, probably better yet. What else we got? Yo. Wait, I wish Naomi had stepped out of the truck at the end with the boots she took from Dory's porch. Oh, yeah. That would have been cool, actually. Why did Alicia shoot my favorite new character besides Morgan? I don't know. Carl got shot looking at the deer in season 3 and still lived. This is no different. Maybe he's under a dumpster. Listen, if they have the shit needed, what's her name is a nurse, right? I mean, she's got some knowledge. If they pull a Herschel moment, I'm fine with that. Let me make myself very clear. Before, they're in the middle of nowhere, no supplies. Like, Herschel had a house with at least an area they could prep, at least an area that's clean. This is like a dirty ground, unless if they pull something off where there's a clean trailer with if they even have a mobile little hospital for their own group, I am absolutely fine with that. If they pull some doctor shit, just like Carl, I'm good with that. I probably would prefer that because I don't want him to die. Ronnie, what do you think about how Naomi is basically responsible for the downfall and the entire group of the survivors and would have done the same in her position? And would you have done the same in her position? Wait, Howling Wolf. Ronnie, what do you think about how Naomi was basically responsible for... Oh, you mean in her old group. Yeah, that's rough. And it's rough and scary because she was alone, and she's with strangers, essentially. And she doesn't know who to trust. I mean, that is rough. I could never leave my kid. Like, I don't know. I couldn't leave my kid to go on a run. I would have to find someone I trusted and be like, listen, watch over, whoop-de-whoop. I got to go make a run. And if not, I'm going to have to bring my kid with me or something. I couldn't just leave my kid. But again, I sympathize with her because if this is the end of the world, you have no friends, no family around, you're with these strangers essentially, that's tough. I mean, that's hard. I think it's almost impossible to judge her in that type of world because keep in mind, man, what do? You have a child who's so sick, you're around people who you don't even know if you could trust or if they'll turn on you because they're so sick. I mean, damn. I don't blame her for that, but I would have tried to find someone I could trust, though. Do you think Charlie is Naomi's daughter? No, I think her... I hope they don't do that. If they do, it kind of takes away from her story. Or maybe it changes her story. And again, her story is questionable. Like, how did she know it was the first night? Unless there was a survivor that told her. How did she know her daughter started it? How did she know her daughter died and started it? Yeah, how did she know any of that? If she truly left, and then her daughter died, turned, bit someone, that someone bit someone, and da-da-da-da, and then she came back 3 days later. How does she know anything? So yes, they can. I think one of the biggest, that has to be her daughter. I think that's been there since the very beginning. Since absolutely the beginning, because it seemed even more plausible then. But now it would make sense why she's with the group, because that's her daughter in the second and third. That might be the way they're going, but like I said, it destroys the whole backstory we just spent an episode essentially focusing on. So then it changes what happened to her group, and now they would have to answer, well, what did happen, I feel. Dylan, Ronnie, any advice on how to get a girl interested in you? Yeah, don't be creepy. I hooked up with this girl a couple nights ago and at the bar and went to make a relationship with her. I'm 22, she's 25. Please help. Listen, if you want my honest advice, if you hooked up with a girl at the bar, hit it, and split it, homie. Do not bed down, or don't wifey up some chick you met at the bar. Get the fuck out of here. That's my honest advice. And not like she's never going to be of wifey material, but she's probably kicking it, chilling it, and that's how she wants to play the game. And 25. Wait, I'm 25. She's 25. Nah, she might want to chill out, but I tell you what, I'll give you advice, real advice, and then we'll move on back to the other questions. But don't force it. See if it works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Don't be creepy and don't force it. Absolutely. Don't seem desperate either, because you sound like you really want this to be the thing. Just see if you guys hit it off. If it happens, it happens. Inalda Rivera, do you think Johns joins his love even knowing what they have done to survive and leave Morgan? Do you think John... No, I don't think it's that simple. I think a lot of other complicated shit is going to go down. Vito, what's the hardest part about writing a comic? For me, it's dialogue. I could see that. Dialogue is tricky, but it all depends on the story you're telling. Certain dialogue, I feel, it writes itself. It's so easy. If you get the story and the characters, if you get to know the characters, the dialogue just flows. The hardest part, I feel, is setting up the structure where it's not too predictable, it's interesting, and it has a good flow, and it makes sense. That, for me, I feel like is the hardest part, because it's not just like... Writing isn't just like, here's a bunch of interesting stuff that happened. You do have to input meaning into that, you can go deep with it, you can go surface level with it. Taking something and going deep with it would be, for example, in Fear the Walking Dead, where they come up with the words and he's platypus, and then we go back later, they take that one nugget, reuse it, recycle nuggets. Again, it adds to it. It builds up the character, the story, it fleshes them out. Don't do that with everything, though, because then you'll just be a try-hard and it'll get too jumbled. But yeah, dialogue is... if you're having problems with dialogue, honestly, don't look at the dialogue. Look at your characters. Get to know your characters a little better, because honestly, the dialogue should roll out based on the characters. The show is really messing with my head, says Gavin's Ghost. I guess short-term memory in the apocalypse is really short. Kim, hey Ronnie, do you think the writers had John give Morgan his guns as a setup so Alicia could shoot him in the end? Had he had his guns on, he would have beat her to it? No, I don't think John, even with his guns, I don't think he would have pulled his guns. I don't think that was the case at all. I think John was kind of going like, oh no, stop. I don't think he was going, oh, you're a threat. I think John, even if he had his guns, I think he would have been like, no, chill, Or if the writers did write that, so he would do that, so this would happen, I think that's unnecessary. I feel like John wouldn't have pulled his gun. He would have just been like, listen, don't shoot. And she was so, in the moment, she shot before she realized he put himself there. Alicia needs to give up her guns. Strand had a few cool moments in season 3, like burning the boat. What else we got? Let's scroll up some. Do you think Tobias will return from season 1? I think he might. I think it's possible. Do you think Alex will return? Oh, keep in mind, if Tobias returns, they got to explain that, because they're in a different area now. They're states away. Do you think Alex will return? I don't know. Now we're getting so many characters. I think some of them are just gone. I think Alex is just gone. I think that was a gimmick for the earlier seasons, and it's just gone now. If she does return, it won't be until like season 6, to be honest. Herschel was a vet that worked on horses and shit, and they're at a horse racetrack. Gotta be a sign. Why do you keep parking in the parking spaces? Are they worried about tickets? I would be up on the lawn. Yeah, they do weird shit. Like, if you're driving, you ever notice, like, I would just be anywhere, Wait, they got the SWAT van. They could take them out. Here, just saying what's up. What's up, Roman? Do Vultures have an ambulance? I didn't notice that. Mark said, Q&A, Ronnie, how about a Skype interview, YouTube video with the kid who played Tobias from season 1? That could happen. That could happen. I could see it hard to trust anyone in the zombie apocalypse, so can understand why they don't understand why Morgan and John showed up. Yeah, I get that too. I just thought it was, you don't need to aim the guns at them like they're the verified enemy. You could still kind of lower them a little, Ronald Tooth said, where else could Madison possibly be at this point besides dead, especially given Alicia's reaction? It definitely seems like that's where we're headed with this story. Well, don't forget. They constantly are separating characters and reuniting them. Alicia might believe Madison died. Alicia might believe Madison died trying to help Naomi. Now that she sees Naomi's alive, she could think Madison died for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, Madison could have gotten out too, and Madison could be alive. I'm 50-50. I think it could be one or the other. She could be dead, she could be alive. Harrison said, hey Ronnie, not trying to get you to spoil anything, but when writing Doomsday Kingdom, was there ever a moment where you thought you wrote something that was too much for readers? Yeah, and I kept it in. There's a moment coming with the two Italians. I thought that was a moment that it would never, let's just say Fantasyland, if it ever became like a movie or like maybe a trilogy, that would never make it to the movies. It's way too, maybe nowadays more and more, as the years go on, we're seeing more fucked up shit. But I think there is one thing especially that's super fucked up. There's something with Katie too. There's a real bloody scene with Katie that's like super, not just gore moment, but I try to ground it in reality so much where it's like, it's like squeamish. It's like, oh, fucking hell, that was some shit. Anyway, what do we got? Ronnie, how about, we already read that. I don't think they will kill John, especially after building his character. I hope not, Henrietta. But I have a feeling the writers are telling us he can die too later on. Oh, I'm fine as long as they keep him around a little bit. Right, she would have been dead before the 3 days it took to find the stuff. That was another thing. If she was, if she was alone, who's taking care of your kid for 3 days? You know what I mean? While you're trying to find medicine. And how young was your kid? I don't think she said it. I couldn't leave my daughter alone for 3 days. Then again, she'd probably be eating nothing but junk food and she'd be fine just with a bellyache, But 3 days, I can't even leave her alone for 30 minutes. I'd be terrified, you know what I mean? 3 days. I'm not sticking around. I haven't seen the episode yet. Well, thank you for coming by and showing your support. All right, we got a couple super chats coming in. Dude Guys with a $2 super chat. I could be a mod. Let me know if you need help. I'll let you know when we get the next flood of mods we're adding. Wait, we got another. There we go. Alyssa Jet with a $20 super chat support dono. Thank you very much. Can't wait to see episode, but by the looks of your title, it should be interesting. Oh, man. Get out. Don't get spoiled. Thank you very much for that donation, and you should like it, definitely. A little bit slow, but it has some zingers. Thank you for the support. And Dude Guys with another $5 super chat support. Tobias needs his own miniseries. It's not realistic for him to travel halfway around the planet, and I'm worried they just kill him off 2 seconds later. Yeah, see, and that's the tricky thing. You got Tobias, you got Alex. You're not in the same location. You are really far away. Really far away not in our world now. I mean, now it's not that far away. But in the post-apocalyptic world, especially after some time has gone by, that's far away. So it gets tricky. Roman said, hey, Ronnie, how can I get and read Doomsday Kingdom? www.doomsdaykingdom.com. We're actually currently shipping, and I gotta say real quick, massive thank you for everyone who's maintaining patience. Shipping's just taken a lot longer than I expected, but we got a whole update video coming up on that. But absolutely, you guys are fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, amazing. What else? Hey Ronnie, do believe video games should live up to the hype like Last of Us and God of War? Wait a minute. do I believe video games should live up to the... Well, I think everything should live up to the hype. Hell yeah. I'm not sure what you mean, the way that question is worded. But yeah, I think everything should live up to the hype. Hey, Ronnie, how should Al handle the possible gunfight between the Vultures and our survivors that she has nothing to do with? Just film it like a journalist in a war zone. I think that's pretty much all she could do, you know? Naomi is a horrible mom just like Lori was. Madison is not dead. They showed her and Morgan together in the trailer. But wait a minute. Yo, wait a minute. Hold, let me look at my pictures. I could have sworn I said that weeks ago in the very first episode. Now I forget. I'm looking at my pictures because I'm almost positive when we first started talking about is Madison dead, I said, no, she's with Morgan because I found a picture with her and Morgan. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. Let me go to season 4. If I find it, I can show you guys. I think there is one with her and Morgan sitting down. That would mean it's after. I don't see it. But yes, I think you're right. I'm almost positive you're right. It was either her and Strand, and I'm confusing them, or it was her and Morgan, definitely. Damn it, I can't find it. But you guys, let me know if you guys saw that too. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. I got so many pictures in here. I think there was a promo picture of that. But yeah, I'm going to go look for that. We'll talk about that next time because that would definitely prove that she's alive if she's speaking to Morgan, you know what I mean? Elisa Jet with another $10 super chat support. I have to admit, I went into this season preparing to hate John. That changed the first 5 minutes of the first episode. He's so cute with his little tiny candy. I want to take him home and keep him. I agree. John was one of those characters where it's like, I like this actor because he's a good character actor. And within the first few minutes, you're absolutely intrigued about this character. I'm in the same boat. Dylan, what do you think of the scene where John shoots off the Vulture's finger? I liked it. Wait, hey Ron, the Vulture's ambulance blew up in the previous or next week? In the previews of next week. Oh, I didn't see that. I'll have to go back and look. Ronnie, do you think Naomi left John at the house to save him? I think that was right after she lost her daughter, or all of that went down. I think she was just in a shitty place, right? That's how I read it, you know. Naomi banged John without telling him her real name, so yeah, she'll lie her way into anything to get pity. Yes, the ambulance was in the next episode being blown up. Oh, yikes. Naomi is the leader, and that girl Charlie is her kid. Well, I could see her girl being the kid, but Naomi being the leader? I don't know about that. Do you care? I mean, if they go that way, that's kind of weak. Keep in mind, they already had a leader, and he's still living and breathing right now, so I don't know why they would change. Do you care about the relationship between Strand and that other guy? I don't care at all. Wait, do you think the Vultures will become part of the main characters of Fear the Walking Dead? I don't see that happening. They could do that, but I don't see that happening. I mean, that could be the big, the big reveal overall, turning our cast into these Vulture-like characters. But I can't see them doing that with the good guy characters because it's not a good guy thing to do. Go around. And besides, after a while, the Vulture's way of life, it's going to be pointless because the only people who are surviving after time goes on are people who can grow and farm and, people who are self-sufficient. So you can't wait them out, you know what I mean? You'll always run into that problem where they can last longer than you, you know what I mean? Do you think Madison is missing because... Wait. Do you think Madison is missing because she went after Naomi to help her? I think Madison will follow up close behind. I got the impression because of... Alicia believing she knew definitely that Naomi was dead, that Madison may have gone to help her in the stadium, and whatever happened, it looked like she died. They both died to, what's her name? Alicia. It looked like they died to her. Spin said it was after the fall of the stadium, not the whole time. If she was a vulture, then the FEMA camp would have been cleaned out long ago. Yeah, no, I don't think she's a vulture before, but after, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I thought that was debunked as a trailer made to look like Madison and Morgan were together. Now, I'm going to look that up because I'm almost positive it wasn't just a trailer. It was a promo image of Madison and Morgan. Again, though, I could be mixing that up with Strand. I'm not going to be able to type this. I'll have to look it up later. I'm not going to be able to search it up now. What are the chances that the show will make it to season 6 and who will still be alive? Oh, I have no idea who will still be alive, but I think there's a really good chance it'll make it to season 6. Not just because it's doing good this season, but because we're already at season 4 and AMC is dead set on this being a moneymaker. I mean, this is their franchise. This is turned AMC into a network that is competing with original content. They need this to go on. They need this to be successful. So I don't think they're going to give up on it anytime soon. Unless they have something else planned. Something else Walking Dead-wise. Hey, Ronnie, do you think the group and Vultures make another community? If they killed Madison, would Alicia just stay there talking about it? Naomi took the stadium down. I have no idea what you're saying, to be honest. Hey, Ronnie, do you think group and Vultures make another community? What group? No, I don't think they make another community. They could, but yeah, I don't think so. It would be the same thing. It would just be recreating what they did in season 2. I don't think that's the way to go story-wise. If they killed Madison, would Alicia just stay there and talking about it? Again, I don't think it's directly like, oh, they killed Madison, because if that was the case, Alicia would have just started shooting, right? I think Alicia feels that they're responsible for events that ended up killing Madison, like something blowing up and Madison goes inside, it blows up, she thinks she's dead, she feels they're responsible, so she wants them dead, but she's not gunning them down immediately. If they directly killed her, she'd gun them down immediately. See what I mean? And as far as Naomi took down the stadium, I don't believe that. At least not yet. I think something happened. Naomi got with the Vultures, and she's been with them ever since. Maybe it is her kid. I mean, that's the only thing right now that would lead us to believe she would go with the Vultures is if Charlie was her kid. Do you think the new characters from season 4 will replace the old ones? Not all of them. Some of them, but not all of them. Do you think that the Vultures Howlin' Wolf, do you think that the Vultures sickened a herd on the stadium because they would know where to find large numbers of walkers because of their numbered system? They could have compromised them also. Yeah, I think it's possible they used a lot of zombies. They have a lot. You know what I mean? That is something they could do, absolutely. That's risky, though, too, because you got the zombies going in there, clearing it out. And then how long you have to wait? What if they get trapped? But for a zombie show, they won't even focus on that because they're just going to focus on the attack, So I could see that happening. Big Bath presents. Sorry I'm coming in late, but thank you for taking time to answer. I'm a big fan. Q&A. Thank you very much for the support. Alicia's hair being down while holding a gun like that is so dumb. Oh, I didn't see it. It was real close up. If her hair is all over the gun, yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, I gotta go back and look again though, but I can picture already what you mean. Harry Chu. Writers are going out of their way to make vultures likable. Mel gave this condolences for Nick, and Alicia was a mean bitch. I think that's a matter of perspective. I didn't see that as Mel being like him giving his condolences for Nick. I saw that as sarcasm. I could be wrong. He could have genuinely meant, I'm sorry. Because keep in mind, he's talking about a little girl gunning him down. It's not like they watched him die and he just died and they're like, oh, I'm sorry about that. No, one of their own gunned him down, So he's like, I'm sorry about your brother being a dick. That's the way I read it. I didn't think he was being nice at all. Neither was she. Dude, guys, we've had the wolves and vultures. Now we just need a group of bad guys called the tigers, zebras, pigs, and dogs. We might get them. Fear still comes across as better quality than the original, says Rebecca. Have you seen Infinity War yet? Yes, I was pretty disappointed. Too many quips and jokes. Yeah, there was a lot more jokes than I thought there was going to be. But it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be honest. I think there's only one main thing, and again, I think tomorrow I might be able to get the Infinity War, if you guys even want to talk about it, that video up with Cargo. Cargo is definitely going up tomorrow. But with the Infinity War, it did, without going into spoilers, it did one thing. I really thought there was nothing, no one could die. It's Marvel. No one could die. They did solve that for me, but at the end of the day, I really feel like they might not be dead. They're probably not dead. Anyone, whoever dies, they're probably all alive. So, but I still enjoyed the fucking shit out of Infinity War. I really enjoyed it. Again, maybe a little too many jokes. I felt Thor's was the one that stood out the most. He just had a horrible experience with his own community, his whole community, and then immediately he's making so many jokes back to back. Self-aware jokes. It wasn't like Thor's actions were funny. He was being funny on purpose. That was the one that stood out the most as, yeah, that's the writers going for the jokes instead of going for realism, I feel like. Roman said, Breaking Bad made AMC. The Walking Dead is what kept them alive. No, I disagree. I would strongly disagree with that. Breaking Bad was an original show that did something for AMC. Hell yes. And it deserves all the credit. Absolutely. But we're talking about Breaking Bad, which got 1 million viewers. I think it was 1.5 million for multiple seasons. And 5 million, I believe, to 8 million, was it, for the finale? Walking Dead is pulling in up to 20 million viewers. You know what I mean? It's just simply, and as the merchandise, as on fire as the community's so much different. But it doesn't take away from Breaking Bad. Like, saying this doesn't take anything away from Breaking Bad is a monster of a show. I mean, it is insane. But it just didn't do the same thing for the network itself as AMC, not by a long shot. The money, and keep in mind, this is not about what's better. They don't own Breaking Bad. And this is another point I should probably clarify for anyone who's confused. They own The Walking Dead. So having The Walking Dead 8 seasons, bringing in, 10 million, 15 million, 17 million viewers, more when they count all the other crap. The merchandise, they own it. With Breaking Bad, they don't own that. Huge difference. Massive difference. And again, I say this just based on, that shit, not based on the quality of the program. Because Breaking Bad is still an amazing show, but it didn't do a dent compared to what The Walking Dead did, simply based on what they own and what they don't own. I just stopped by to say hi, love y'all. Back around 10:15 PST. We're at our hour mark. We're about to shut her down. But I want to find a few more good questions here. I love Breaking Bad. Never missed an episode. Oh, I never missed. I think I started in season 2, and I was hooked ever since. My grandfather actually put me onto that show. What if Naomi is the actual leader of the Vultures and she was playing Madison in the beginning? See, I don't buy that. I think that's too much of a switcheroo, and it really robs the storytelling and they shoot themselves in the foot. They have all this shit built up with Naomi, and then you're going to tell me it's all bullshit? The stuff with John and him finding her, and it's all bullshit. I think it ruins a lot of the storytelling in the beginning if she was the real leader of the Vultures. And, maybe she was the leader of the Vultures. She found the FEMA camp. She tried meeting back up with the Vultures. She couldn't find them. She went back to the FEMA camp, but her kid died. She was trying to find the Vultures to get the medicine. By the time she got back, they died. And then she, again, see what I mean? It's like it's just too complicated. I wouldn't like that. Do you think Strand's future storyline should mix with Daniel's at some point? Yeah, if they bring Daniel back, definitely. Breaking Bad was a perfect show, well written and acted and directed. I can't argue there. I fucking love Breaking Bad. Wait. Oh, you guys are still talking to each other. The Walking Dead is their moneymaker. I can't wait for Better Call Saul. What the fuck? Wait. Do you think the writers are trying to turn fans against the old crew? They got too aggressive with Morgan and John? Nah, I don't think so. What are your thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead's usage of zombies in comparison to The Walking Dead? I don't really have any thoughts on it. I mean, sometimes they're going to use them more than The Walking Dead in some episodes and some circumstances, and sometimes they won't. Vincent Valletta, what do you think of how we got Mad and Strand talking about how that cave and how they went out to find Lucy? And do you think we'll see flashbacks of what happened before the stadium? No, I feel like Strand tying up the loose ends of the backstory is it. We shouldn't get a flashback of them finding this cave. We already heard about it. All right, so in the last season, the dam blew up, yada, yada, yada. Madison washed up on shore. She found Alicia. She found Nick. She found Strand hurting, and she brought him all to a cave, and she stayed there until he healed, and then she would go out looking, scavenging, and she ended up finding Luciana. She was even out looking for Luciana, found her on accident maybe, and brought her back to Nick. We don't need to see it now because we know it, They can fill in more of the gaps, but we don't need to know to see it. When is season 4 of Better Call Saul coming out? It's strange how Ronnie watches shitty shows like Fear, but refuses to watch Better Call Saul. That is funny. Saul's not on yet, so I can't really refuse to watch a show that's not on yet. Where are we at? I think it was edited to make it look like Madison and Morgan were talking. I'm going to go back and look for it. Until I find the image or the picture or whatever, the one I'm thinking of, if it's not my brain playing tricks on me, it was Morgan and Madison sitting down together. There was a behind-the-scenes production shot as well as people saying it was in the trailer. I don't remember it being in the trailer. I remember it as a production shot. She was sitting down in her black jacket, and she was leaning over talking to Morgan. Again, I could be misremembering it, so I'm going to go and look it up. If I can't find it, oh well. If I do find it, we'll do a mini video on it. I'll put up a little 3-minute video. Hey, Ronnie, when will that What the Hell Do You Want From Me video be up? Yeah, I made a mistake 2 weeks in a row. That's coming this week. We're ready to go. The 1 week, I just made a mistake. I said it was coming when I had it planned for last week. Last week, it got delayed just because I have everything set. But I'm working on something a little different now because, and I will explain this in the video because I'm refilming it. But I want your guys' thoughts and opinions on some things because making a couple tweaks, and I want your input as viewers, the MAPP family, before I just go ahead and make those tweaks. But it's about, it's about the content, it's about the Ronnie Hayes channel, the secondary channel, and stuff like that. So, you guys, it'll be coming. Yeah, tread lightly. Wait, what is your favorite zombie show besides The Walking Dead? I'm looking for a new zombie drama. I don't think there is one. Not a show. I don't have any show. There's a funny one called, but it's not really zombies, but it's zombie-ish. It's Died Santa Clarita, right? Did I say that right? And I don't know if there's a show. Watch Cargo, watch Train to Busan. Yeah, I don't know about a show unless I'm forgetting something. Wait, do you think of more cannibalism in the Walking Dead universe? Well, I don't think we need more, no. I think cannibalism would be, you'll find it, but it won't be rampant, you know? Hey, Ronnie, wait, I already did that. All right, last few questions coming in. We got any last minute questions? We got, sorry, pushed enter accidentally. Q&A. John is going to live, right? Just a cliffhanger ending. Will Naomi live for a long time? What will be the surprise bad thing? I don't know what you mean about the surprise bad thing, unless that's something they teased that I didn't hear about, but is John going to live? I hope so. I think he should. If he dies, that's disappointing. As far as was it a cliffhanger ending? Yeah, it was definitely a cliffhanger ending. It was made for that purpose. Will Naomi live for a long time? I believe Naomi and John should live for a good chunk, at least a majority of this season, because they've done so much development. We didn't get a lot from Al yet, you know, but keep in mind her purpose is essentially to weave the stories together, because she's the tool they're using to drudge up the past, you know. As far as the big surprise, I don't know what you mean by that. Do you think The Walking Dead will have another spin-off within 2 years? Yes. Doesn't have to be a TV show, though. I think we'll see something in entertainment within the next 2 years. I think we're going to get an announcement within the next year of something coming up, something big. What else we got? What do you think of more canon? Oh, I already read that one. What was that? Ronnie, do you think Fear should have a new anti-hero like Troy or Negan after All Out War? I think we could get an anti-hero, sure. But it doesn't have to be Troy or Negan-like. We should get something that's a little different or refreshing. You know what I mean? Do I watch Westworld? And with your new full-time channel, would you be interested in doing reviews or analysis or something? I'm not sure if I'll cover Westworld. I do enjoy it. We could probably do a video or two talking about it. I enjoyed one. I think it had something real good going, but I think with one, the symbolism got a little too on the nose. It was a little too easy to predict what they were doing, but it was still a big hit, you know? Like when they did the focus on the color, the white, the black, the hats, I think they did that early on. It popped in my head like, I wonder if they're doing it, and they exactly did that. But it still was in a shocking and like, whoa, okay. With season 2, right now, I think I'm only 2 episodes in. I'm kind of like at a point where I'm having a hard time connecting with the people who aren't human. You know, I'm having a hard time connecting with their storylines, and I'm having a hard time wondering where the hell they're going with this story. You know, Lauren Cohan's new show looks so lame. I didn't know they were showing previews of that yet. I'll have to look at it. But yeah, as far as Westworld, I do watch it and I do enjoy it. Absolutely. Do you see Strand dying this season? I think it's possible, but I feel like they should leave him hanging around. Yeah, if you're asking questions, I see every now and then mods saying no caps. Yeah, it's just easier because what ends up happening is some person will put their question all in caps, their question will get asked, and then everyone else will think, oh, I'll put it all in caps. Next thing you know, the feed is, oh, Jesus, Catwoman fell down. The feed it's difficult when everyone's using caps, and for some reason it catches on, man, like wildfire. Yeah, I moved Catwoman because I was cleaning up Dustin and getting things set up for the new, you know, full-time channel stuff. I'll explain that boring stuff later. Puppy Charms, for some reason, thinks I ignore him. There's just a lot of comments coming in, you know. I can't keep it up. Not only that, the YouTube comment thing is so touch and go. But you said that Naomi had two daughters, Charlie and the young one who died. She lies about everything anyway. That would make more sense if she did have two kids and she left Charlie, to watch over the little one. The little one died, but then it wouldn't make sense if the little one died, killed everybody except coincidentally Charlie. But yeah, she could have two daughters and lied about it. I think that's a stretch though, because now we're getting into confusing territory where it's making Naomi's character look like a jumbled mess, Anyway, miss the days when people had respect for the president. Sad. What are you, from the 60s? Yes, Whiskey Cavalier has a trailer. Oh my god, I'm gonna go watch that. Did I watch Prison Break? Yes. TV show's not going to work out, no worries. Do you think they're killing off characters to end the show soon? No. They don't want to end it. They want it to grow. What's my thoughts on Zombieland 2? I'm all for it, if it's going to be good. I'm not a real big fan of Zombieland. I might watch it once every 5 years. It's one of those zombie movies where if I'm on a date and the chick hasn't seen it, I'll watch it with her. Or if I got a friend that's like, oh, I've never seen that, and I don't know, we're hanging out, which that's not going to happen anytime soon. Everyone's probably, that I know, has probably seen that. We might put it on. Or if my daughter gets old enough, she's like, hey, Dad, want to watch it? It's not a movie that I put on regularly. I'm not real big on horror comedies, I don't know, like Shaun of the Dead, it's good for me to watch once every 5 years. But again, I'm not big on horror comedies. I like my horror to be horror, Or horror drama, whatever. They shot what? Could our survivors go to a major city and divert walkers to gather supplies? They could, sure. More of a thought. Do you think we should have less bad guys and more survival? I think they should mix it up, absolutely. Especially after 2.5 seasons of the Saviors. It's just getting old at this point. I think mixing it up would be good. What are your thoughts on the Walking Dead universe idea that Scott Gimple wants to do? I think it is... well, it depends on which aspect you're talking about, but I think it is something they need to do if they're going to keep this franchise alive. It's a franchise. It's not just the main show anymore. So to have a universe, get a movie going out there, you got a game, book, you got all this other stuff going on. Yeah, I think it's the only natural flow of franchises to grow and do other movies and other shows, yada, yada, yada. More of I don't know why some of these questions seems like they're doubling up. Maybe it's me. When will we see Washington D.C. on the show? It would be so cool to see the White House. Oh, season 9, I believe. Have you ever watched the X-Files? I grew up on the X-Files. What are you kidding? Who are you talking to? You vape Naked 3 milligram of Green Blast. I heard Naked is good flavor. This is Nasty Juice. It's that Trap Queen. It's strawberry low mint. Oh my god, I love that shit. The low mint. Charmander, I want to address this because you said, I wish Gimple and Kirkman would grow balls and explain what caused the virus. Two things here. If they get too much into the virus, you get too much into the cure or all this other shit. Now you're going down the path that leads to an ending. There's no reason for them to do that anytime soon. But another thing is, a lot of times that stuff comes off as cheesy. What could they do? Aliens, a government, laboratory thing gone wrong? I mean, come on. I disagree strongly. I think it's fine following the people, not the government and laboratory. Follow the people. If shit really went down, and you were a survivor, you would not know what the fuck happened. No one's gonna tell you. You know, the president's not gonna make an announcement and tell you classified shit. You know, if another country bombed you with some chemical warfare, you would simply not know, and you'd be out there surviving. I like that. Me personally, I prefer that better than them spilling this crazy story on what started it. Hey Ronnie, do you think our main characters should have shorter hair to keep themselves from getting caught and tangled? Yeah, I do. Have I seen Bates Motel? It was a great show. Yeah, I saw the first couple seasons. It was great until the one season, I think 3, I was like, nah, I'm taking a break. I want to finish it. But it started getting too much about shipping different characters. Like, will Norman get with this chick? Will the brother get with that chick? And they were even hyping it up on Facebook and Twitter. Every time I watched an episode and got off, instead of talking about the crazy shit Norman's doing, it was them polling fans to see who they wanted to bone this week. I got so annoyed with it, I just stopped. But you're absolutely right. The first 2 seasons are great. I think there was a little that turned me off in whatever season I stopped, but I do want to go back and finish it. All right, let's take the last couple questions here and wrap this up. Are you going to watch The Passage when it comes out? It's like a pre-apocalypse Last of Us, has a little girl, man on the run because they need her to stop the infection from taking over the world. Yeah, I'll check it out. I never heard of it, to be honest, until now, but I'll check it out. Wait, watch the Whiskey Cavalier trailer on stream. I don't know if the stream will stay on, to be honest. If I watch it, the stream might cut out. Let me look it up though. Whiskey Cavalier. Whiskey. I can't even see the keys I'm hitting. Whiskey. There we go. Whiskey. Nope, not Lullaby. Whiskey Cavalier. What the fuck are you doing, YouTube? Excuse me, Whiskey Cavalier. Official trailer. Oh my god, it has one.
Whiskey Cavalier. You're one of our best agents. High intelligence. You've proven to be a huge asset to the Bureau. You and your fiancée recently parted ways?
Yes, we did. It was mutual. Mostly from her side, but I'm totally fine with it.
We have the footage.
That was a private moment.
This is the FBI.
That was funny.
No private moments. I got something for you. Edgar Standish. Russians grabbed him up at the Hague airport. Bring him back to Paris within 48 hours.
Yes, sir. Any sign of the target? Negative.
What is your pleasure? Bourbon.
Get rid of her.
Sorry, I just broke up with my boyfriend.
Agents, do not empathize.
You spend all that time with someone, you think you know them.
Trust me, I know.
I know you know.
Target's been compromised. How? I got sandbagged by the CIA operative. She's relentless.
How's everything going in Moscow?
Not great.
As one professional to another, I should probably apologize. You shouldn't have taken an assignment in your condition.
What condition?
Well, heartbroken over Gigi.
Oh yeah, we saw that too. Cowboys who run around like Rambo without a jockstrap.
Button-down Boy Scouts.
A lot of sexual tension in the car.
Nick Planter.
I wish I could say the same. This is an FBI operation now.
Yeah, but your target's getting away.
I'm not too worried. Bye. Coming back.
It's got some funny stuff in it.
Highest killer capture rate of any side of the CIA.
Well, it's a good thing I should.
Hey, that kid's in The Walking Dead. He got ripped apart.
Micro tracker.
We have all the close choice.
See, I thought we were just having a tender moment. That's my gun, by the way. Well done.
You too.
I believe in love. I know I'm a better person and a better agent because of it. I just
was so happy about that.
You want to stick around? Maybe catch the bouquet?
No, really.
As of today, we are all officially working together.
As a team.
Led by me.
All right. Well, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Where are we at here? No, damn it. All right. So that's what is going on with my friggin' screen. Get back down here. There we go. All right. That was Whiskey Cavalier. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest. Yeah, that was Noah. He got ripped apart. And that wasn't nowhere near as bad. I thought it was going to look horrible. Somebody said that's terrible looking, yada, yada, yada. There is a certain look to ABC shows, or the more, I want to say like the more family, but it's not family. It's the less dark shit. You know what I mean? That's on TV. There's a very different look, and it has that, it's the perfect, NBC, ABC, that type of, it's that perfect style. I can see that being more popular than something I thought it was going to be. That's still not going to be a career maker right there. I'll tell you that right now. You can already tell. I don't even know what the fuck the purpose of the show is, even by that trailer. CIA, FBI doing some shit. You need your gimmick. You need your one gimmick, not just people working together. There's funny stuff. I feel like this show has a good ground, again, for the type you're going for. It's not my cup of tea. I probably won't watch it. It is. Someone says too cheesy. Yes, it's purposefully cheesy. It's supposed to be that way for that type of audience. And again, it's not good or bad. There's different types of audience. I prefer the more dark, shit. That is the opposite way. But I feel like they're missing a gimmick, which is something you need, which is in the trailer. This is like specifically, this is what they're doing, but whatever. Do you plan on talking about Telltale's The Walking Dead? Yeah, we're going to cover the whole thing. We should be doing that soon, too. We should be getting into that real soon. What's your favorite Negan line from the show? Can you say it in his voice? I would just ruin it if I said it in his voice. I'm not sure which line I like the best, to be honest. Do you ever think about trying to get Doomsday Kingdom published by Image Comics, or was your intention on self-publishing only? No, we talked recently in an update about we need to go with a publisher. We're getting to the point where if we keep growing, it'll be bigger than what we could ship out. Like it would take me all month to just ship orders. You know what I mean? That would be my main job. YouTube would be, instead of going to YouTube full time, it would be the comic full time, and YouTube would be whenever we had time to do YouTube. Because the shipping the orders, it would eat up the entire month, to be honest. That show looks horrible. Probably won't be on for 15 seasons. No, I have a feeling with a show like Whiskey Cavalier, they're trying to get 2-3 seasons out of it. Maybe 4 if they're lucky. Like that's what they're going for. I think they could probably get at least 1 season out of it, maybe 2. Again, depending on if there's not that gimmick, the glue holding it together, other than it looks like a buddy cop, but different things mixed in there. Wait, has Fear copied The Walking Dead enough yet? It's copied a lot. I feel like it hasn't copied a lot this season compared to previous seasons. Cobra Kai didn't look good in the previews, and neither did Dread, but they turned out really good. Yeah, Cobra Kai was... I feel like Cobra Kai was as good as the previews made it look. The idea of Cobra Kai is what I thought was, no, that looked horrible. It sounded horrible, but it really wasn't as bad as I thought. Is there any chance we'll ever see a flashback on The Walking Dead again? I think there's always a chance. Do you think they're killing characters off to end the show soon? No. I think you asked that before, but no, I don't think so. Has there ever been a storyline that you wished would have been further explored? Yeah, I think there's been pieces here and there that I would have liked explored a little more. I think Terminus, but when I say a little more, I just mean a little more, not, the first half of the season more. Do you think they should have killed Beth off? Wait, do you think they should have killed Beth off so early? Or I think they should have killed her off earlier and ditched the hospital storyline. When was the last time something was blown up on The Walking Dead? We should have had something blown up recently, right? How can we get Last of Us miniseries on Netflix? I don't know. I really don't know. What else we got? I'm looking for that last good question. Ronnie, have you checked out The Rain on Netflix? No, but I want to check it out. I think it's like a Danish, apocalypse, right? The rain brings some kind of disease or something. Wait, what? The Walking Dead spinoff do you want next? The Governor? No. Not any character that we've already had. Not even a spinoff. Give us something totally different in a place that has snow. At this point, that's the new, fresh thing they need to do. I would donate my kidney for a Trevin Ronnie collab. Good thing we won't make you give up your kidney. What else we got? All right. Have you read Oblivion's Song, and will you review it? Yeah, as soon as I go pick up the issue 3, we're going to review it. I read the first 5 issues, but I think the meat is after the first 5 issues, because issue 5 has a cliffhanger that kind of really opens up the world, and it's like, oh, I see what you did there. But we'll review issue 3 soon. Why isn't there more babies in The Walking Dead? That's harder to film them. All right, we're going to wrap this up. I got to get we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. We're going to keep these to an hour and 30 minutes. They seem to do a little better then. Yes, and I have looked into State of Decay 2. I think I might have to upgrade my computer, because I think that is a PC game. I'm not buying an Xbox just for a video game, but if it is on a PC, I'll probably look into that when it comes out. Again, I might have to upgrade something on the computer, but I am interested in that. I'll be honest, at first when I checked it out, it looked just like a Last of Us, ripped and put into like a Grand Theft Auto, or one of those type worlds, like a bigger world you can explore. I do like some of what they got going on. There is that touch that I feel like it's missing that magnetic urge to play. You know what I mean? Like that hook. But again, I might have to play it in order to get that hook. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for coming out. Wait, what? Do I see something like Marvel in The Walking Dead? A universe built up and then big series together with all the characters from a number of different series storylines. No, I don't think they should start mixing and matching. I said they could. There's a chance they could do little things. But superheroes in the world of The Walking Dead is 2 different things. You got superheroes. It's perfect for that mix and blend. And, you can feature in different movies. But with the world of The Walking Dead, it's set where if you bring in characters, now you're changing the story itself, because the stories don't blend the same. So you'll be forcing the characters in there, and I'm not up for that. Little cameos I'm fine with. Like Rick being in the Fear of the Walking Dead, it doesn't take anything away from the story. It's a little cameo that fits perfectly, Anyway, thank you very much for coming out. Again, if you're new here, we do this every Sunday night, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. And stay on the lookout for the videos coming out this week. We have Cargo. We're discussing Infinity War. What the hell do you people want from me? I know we had something else I totally forgot about. I know we got a couple MAPP Mail videos we're backed up on, and then older videos that never had a chance to come out. I'm going to be putting those out. We'll be discussing that coming up, though. But thank you very much for the mods holding it down, everyone supporting through the Super Chat support, and the patrons, everyone holding it down for the MAPP family. I'll see you guys here next Sunday to discuss Fear the Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode, 7? And then we just have one more. Is there just 2 more? Damn. And then we're on a break. But we have some good stuff to fill that break, so I ain't mad. I'm looking forward to it. So we got some good stuff coming. All right, guys, get some rest. I'll see you next time.